Coming up, we're going to talk about our go-to dining spots for the fall of 2021 on this episode of the DVC Show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show, coming to you from the Bob Varley Studio in Orlando, Florida. I'm your host, Pete Werner, joined at the table this week by my good friends, Marissa Valaton.
Hello.
Derek DeBoer.
Hey now.
And via Skype, Amy Krieger. Yeah,
hello.
And him.
That guy.
And of course, Paul Krieger, right next to her. We have to take him. We want her, but we got to take. I'm kidding. I've been busting your chops all day today, Paul. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I love Paul. I
take it.
love Paul. I was just going through the DVC fan website and, in prepping for the show and looking at certain things. The content, these two, unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. What gifts from heaven the two of you have been. Honest, no, I'm being
West
honest
Virginia.
now. I'm not being sarcastic. You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing, and I don't say that enough.
Thank you.
We were with them at the Diz family reunion booth, and these folks are like rock stars.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
people see the Kriegers, and they're like, oh, I can't believe it's Paul and Amy Krieger. And I'm like, it's just the Kriegers right there. They're literally super excited to see.
Well, now we have them in a group text. So, like, random DVC Disney information. We're like, Paul, Amy, what's the news on this?
Within 10 seconds, it's
No,
on the
like-
site. It's crazy.
It's like a whole lot of talent in that house.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we get started, just a reminder, our show and all of our DVC content is brought to you by the World of DVC, which includes DVCResaleMarket.com, if you're in the market for a DVC resale, hence the name. DVCRentalStore.com, if you're in the market to rent some DVC points, hence the name. And MoneraFinancial.com, which is a great way to finance your next DVC resale contract. I don't know why I'm so excited. I know I am excited to talk about go-to dining spots for fall of 2021. Because I've had some experiences in the last few weeks that by the time this goes up, you will have heard about one of them on a Tuesday show. That was special. But I'm going to let somebody else go first. Derek.
Oh.
I'm going to let you go first.
It's
What
perfect. We're doing this.
What are your go-to dining spots right now?
Well, I think I'd be remiss if I didn't say that I'm obviously very super excited about Space 220.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not exactly thrilled that it's a set menu. So it's going to be like Be Our Guest, which I'm not a fan of Be Our Guest whatsoever.
Yeah, but the quality of that food went up when they did that.
Really?
Yeah, it did.
Okay, because I've only been once, and I was just kind of completely underwhelmed. So I'm not a big fan of having.
So maybe it's gone back down again. But when they first opened Be Our Guest, I remember the review I gave. I'm like, this was very good. I hope they keep it this way because we know what Disney does. It becomes popular. Mm-hmm. They want to make more money. So they raised the price. They cut the quality. And that's exactly what happened. Then they went to the prefix menu.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, okay. This is quite good. This was good. But apparently, I haven't been there in a while. So
Yeah, but I mean, this whole Space 220, and I think I just saw some videos are starting to leak out. Like they had a media event, I think, either last night or
they have a media event coming up. Yeah.
Is it? Okay, yeah, because I've seen some videos of it. I've looked at the menu. I think it's obviously going to be super, super cool. But it come down to it, we're doing the math, and it's like $90 a person, right? So a family of four with kids over the age of 13, you're dropping. If I'm doing my math right, that's like $10,000 for like dinner. So to me, it's just a little too pricey. I'm sure we're going to have to do it because you have kids and you sign that contract that you have to take them to a restaurant called Space 220. I'm just hoping that it's going to be worth the money and not just a one and done type thing. Like, oh, I have no reason to go back. So I'm excited to go. I'm a little bit nervous about going, but regardless, how can you not be excited about it?
And again, because this is only my third time doing a show, I forget to introduce my producer, Craig Williams, back in the Nook. Just okay.
At least we know. It's not just Corey now.
Yeah.
I mean, now it's just anyone.
It's sad. It's sad. What and I get to have a a video library of my descent into dementia.
Equal opportunity forgetter.
No, I mean, I'm excited about 220, but I'm afraid it's
Right.
going to be a one and done.
Right.
It's
100%.
going to be a one and done, because this seems to be the path they're on with Hotel Ishtar,
Yeah.
the Galactic Star Cruiser. That another experience that comes with a mortgage application if you want to do it. But what about you, Marissa?
So we've recently, and actually thanks to you guys here, have started to go to Topolino's. And I mean, we have got the bug. It's bad. And what's funny is because right now in Orlando, it's magical dining. And so usually like fall dining, we're so excited for because we're like, we'll try out all these restaurants. And so we've done a couple. And every time we go, we're like, well, it's not Topolino's. And so I think we've just given up and we're like, you know what? If we go out to dinner, we are only going to So that is our fall plan is Topolino's.
Topolino's awesome.
For breakfast,
Awesome
lunch,
restaurant.
dinner.
Lunch, dinner, we will be there.
And this is a restaurant that opened strong and has stayed
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah.
More than a year after it opened. It is still a tough reservation to get,
Yeah.
and they're delivering
The
when
service is excellent. The food is excellent.
outstanding restaurant.
Yeah. My son, who's 4, goes and is treated like amazing. So it's like, why go anywhere else?
Yeah. California Grill who?
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
I haven't been to the California Grill in a while either.
That was so sad.
Craig, I'm going to let you weigh in here.
I didn't prepare. Let me think.
Okay. Wow. I still love him. All right, Amy.
So I do agree on Topolino's. It's been very consistent for us. We just had breakfast there not that long ago. Dinner was awesome there. But one of my favorite places, consistently always awesome. And when I think of fall, I think of like warm colors and earthy food, even though Africa isn't exactly, a place you would go in the fall. But Sanaa at Kidani Village, fantastic restaurant. It's probably in my top 5. Every time we go there, it's just awesome. We went with a party of 6 in July, and I just flat out told them, you guys have to order your own Indian bread service because I'm only sharing with Paul. We're not sharing with the rest of the table. And all 3 couples ordered their own and ate, every last bit of it. So Sanaa, definitely.
All right, Paul.
So mine's off the beaten path a little bit, and I know I don't think you have the
McDonald's
highest,
doesn't count, Paul.
And I only bring this up because we've gone there. Like we've made the legitimate choice to go there twice in this past year. But Wolfgang Pucks at Disney Springs. I don't know if we've hit them on good days, or I don't know if it
Yeah,
was
I
just
think
our
you must
last
have.
resort.
Because I've had 2 meals there and they were awful.
But we did the dining room one time, and then we actually just showed up and ate at the bar one time. And both times, service was good and the food was not terrible. They made, the one time we were there, they're known for pizzas. They have a big pizza oven on premises. And I know previously they had a prosciutto pizza on their menu, and because of everything, menus are limited right now. They still are sort of scaled back from what we previously knew them to be. But I just sort of asked, like, hey, can you guys do the prosciutto pizza that you used to do? And they were able to whip it up. So I don't know if we've caught them on good occasions both times, but I'm happy with it. And being that we talked about California Grill just briefly, I'm very disheartened at sort of the news coming out of California Grill right now. We just actually learned earlier today the prefix menu that they're coming out with for the 50th anniversary. I don't know if that's going to be tailored next to their normal menu, but I just hate to see California Grill go to a prefix menu. That really just crushes my heart because of how a high regard I held that place over the years. That's sort of the news we're getting out of California Grill, and I still want to love it, but I feel like I can't.
Well, let's wait and see. But if California Grill starts to plummet, there's going to be a lovely new steakhouse opening downstairs, Steakhouse 71, and the kitchen staff there has a has a good track record, and I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that Steakhouse 71 will be on my list. I mean, I know it's a place I'm going as soon as it's open, but for me, I actually have a few. I agree with Topolino's, excuse me. I got corrected by a server
Oh no.
because we had done a review, and and we just went back in to eat like people, and he said, loved your review, but it's Topolino's. I'm like, okay, grammar, please. But I agree. I think this is still living up to its reputation, and definitely a place I love to go. One of these really surprised me that on our dining channel, the review we did of Trotteria over at the boardwalk.
Mm-hmm.
I knew the minute the food hit the table, my appetizers hit the table, something's changed because this was good. And I was never a fan. Breakfast I liked, but anything outside of that, never a fan. Turned out that, oh my God, his name escapes me, the head chef for Timojoris, the head chef for Flying Fish, while waiting for that restaurant to open, was
I heard that.
executive chef over at Trotteria. I'm like, oh, that explains it.
There's a lot of those restaurants have that now, where they used to work at this place, and God, the food is so much better, and you find out it's because they were at here or they were there. So now,
Yep,
it's crazy.
And now, obviously, the Flying Fish is getting ready to reopen. So, who knows? Who knows what happens? But while Chef Tim is in the kitchen, it's a good time to go to Trotteria. Another one that I just don't think gets as much love as it deserves, Whispering Canyon, over at Wilderness Lodge.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I've probably eaten there about 4 or 5 times, combination of both dinner and breakfast, over the last 4 or 5 months. I had dinner and breakfast there last week when we were doing our event. Amazing. The skillet service at dinner was phenomenal. It was so good. You couple that, especially because we're talking about fall.
Yeah.
I don't think there is a better Disney resort to be at in that fall period leading up into the holidays than Wilderness Lodge. And every time I ate there, I kept saying the same thing. Like this, I don't think this place gets the love it deserves. Service was phenomenal. Food was great.
Was it loud?
Not particularly.
Okay. I think I remember it being really loud.
But I grew up in an Italian family, so it's subjective.
Yeah.
Loud for you and loud for me, very different things. But I was like, okay, I'm all in on Whispering Canyon, and when I say all in, I mean like I'll go out of my way. I'll go out of my way now to go to that restaurant. I've really, really enjoyed it. So like I said, the interaction, the service, the food, I don't think it's getting enough love, personally. But
Great.
I wanted to go ahead.
Sorry, we were just there in June, and I agree. It was awesome, and we had a really good experience. And that was back when I was having those stomach issues, and they were super accommodating. We still got the skillets, and they didn't put any sauce on things, and they gave us stuff on the side. But the other thing is that it's actually pretty easy to get a reservation there right now. It's one of the ones that we just see, a lot of options open.
Yeah, maybe I should shut up.
It was easy
I
to
think-
get a reservation.
It was easy.
I think it goes back though to the case with Flying Fish as well. I wonder if Artist Point is still not open. So do we have some cooks from that restaurant sort of injected into Whispering Canyon?
I'm not sure about that, but I did hear that whoever was the executive at the executive chef at Whispering Canyon moved over to people didn't like his stuff, and he moved over to Trails End, and now they don't like it over there either. And the guy who came in,
Where do you go after that?
yeah, really,
Discovery Island.
that is Trails End. That is the Trails End. And the guy who came in, and again, I don't have this down completely, but I know generally speaking, this is what happened. Guy who came in is like, okay, no, we need, and whoever that person is and whatever choices that person made, God bless, because you're doing a good job. You're doing a really, really good. For me to get excited about that restaurant, I'm surprised. But I want to tell this story. And again, if you watch the Tuesday show, by the time this goes up, you'll have seen this. I had an experience last week at Kona Cafe. Kona Cafe is, its tagline, like under the sign, should say hit or miss. Because
100%.
sometimes
Yes.
you go in there and you have a phenomenal meal. And then you go in there and not so much. And so we were doing a dining review. And that should be going up eventually. I got like 4 in the can. Fiasco has to come back to work. But so we had this Drake Shadwell was doing the review with us. He had a great line that I'm going to steal. I told him I'm stealing this. It was on the good side of mediocre. And I'm like, that's a really good way to describe this. But what made this one of the most exceptional dining experiences I have ever had, not just at Walt Disney World, was our server. Her name was Macarena. And yes, we did the dance. And I wish I could say one specific thing that made Macarena stand out, but I can't. It was her. She's the quintessential Disney cast member. Everything you've ever wanted a Disney cast member to be. Welcoming, friendly, fun, knowledgeable, happy, and just and not like in an obnoxious way, just exuding with positivity and happiness, making you feel welcome. Blown away. And I told her, I'm going to talk about you. She has no idea who the hell I am. I'm going to talk about you, and people are going to come in here. And they're going to
Yes,
ask
they
you.
will.
But here's what's funny: is I put this on my my Facebook page, and I put her picture up, and the number of people that responded. Oh, you know what? I had her 2 weeks ago. I had her 3 months ago. She's amazing. Oh my God, you're so right. She was incredible. And I'm not saying like 1 or 2 people. I mean, dozens of people responded like that.
That's great.
And I think about cast member like that. And I think about they took Memory Maker away, and they're taking this away, and they're doing this. That's where the magic is. Really. That's where the magic is. One thing definitely Josh D'Amaro has gotten right is he knows that's where the magic is. And that's why we got to take care of our cast members. Mm-hmm. Because if we want to take care of our guests, and she is the absolute embodiment. And I'm not saying like all of the cast members are bad. I mean, I've had many wonderful cast members. She was special. And I wish I could just put my finger on it. Right. But it was just everything about her. Everything about what she brought to the table. Everything about how she interacted with everything. Made a mediocre meal wonderful. And I said, I'm only coming back to eat here when you are here. And she's like, well, I'm always here at dinner. I'm like, okay, then I'm only ever coming for dinner. Because, And, you know, I had the steak I'd had was not good. And it wasn't like inedible, but she asked me how it was, and I was honest with her. She kept trying to get the chef to come out and talk to me. I'm like, you really don't have to do that. It's not like I have to complain. This guy would not come out of the kitchen. This guy would not come out of the kitchen. And I think of such a dichotomy between this server, that she deserves better than that. She deserves better support than that from her chef. A server that good, who is far superior to any of the crap you're slinging, deserves much, much better support than that.
People are going to be marching over to Kona Cafe to look for that chef right now, I think.
Well, I would rather them go and just look for Macarena.
Right, exactly.
Bear in mind, the meal. God bless. I don't know what to tell you. But the experience with Macarena, how long have I been talking about this right now? That's how good this woman was.
But that's how important service is, because even if your food was outstanding and maybe you had a cast member that wasn't so magical, it's going to bring that meal down. Right. Where like your situation was the classic one. She was above and beyond and everything, so took a mediocre meal and made it something that you'll never forget.
Absolutely. So, all right. Anybody else have anything else to add? I think this is now a 2-hour show. But really, Kona Cafe Macarena, go for the service, not the food. She's unbelievable. She really, really is unbelievable. But there you have it, folks. That's some of our picks for... This really was more of a dining show than a DVC show, but they'll go up on both. I'll put it up on both channels.
I'm starving.
Yeah, really. That's the problem with doing dining shows. That's why I like to do them in the restaurant now instead of in the studio, because as I'm talking about it, I can eat. When we do them in the studio, it's like the end of those shows. Forget it. I'm like seeing dead relatives. I'm so hungry. All right. That's going to do it, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you again next week with another episode of the DVC show. Have a great week, and remember, stay out of the damn lakes.